Well, ultimately, the Mafia in its heyday in the 60s and 70s.
And they did right then.
It was just, it was a very different world back then. Like you said, you can get away with murders. You can get away with shakedowns. There was no cell phones everywhere. There was no cameras. You can't triangulate, your cell phone and figure out where you are. People weren't, there was no social media where 1 million people will jump on a case and try to figure it out and report it to the authorities. I mean, realistically, can you still have a Mafia in 2021?
It's over. Listen, I'll mention this again. Right now, you'll always find some impressionable kid in his late teens to mid 20s who you could trick into killing someone for you or doing crimes for you. And because it's glorified on TV and in the movies, but the movies that these kids are going to the movies to watch are written about events that took place in the 50s and 60s. But when they make the movie, they set it in 2010 and it's modern, but it doesn't exist now. The stories that they're making these movies about took place in the heyday when you could have a mob, when there wasn't the RICO law with the draconian sentencing guidelines that everyone's flipping. Back then, you got 5 years, you went and did your 5 years. You came home, you caught another 5 years, you went and did your 5 years. There wasn't lifetime persistent predicates and 3-strike rules. Back then, you did your crimes and you did your time. So we're watching movies right now. You watch The Wire and you watch these shows. It's about shit that happened in the 60s. So kids are getting it in their heads that they want to be that person who doesn't exist anymore. And they're getting caught up out there. Then their backs to the wall and they're saying, hey, I know this guy 3-4 years. I'm about to do 40 years for him. No, I'm going to flip on him. And that's what's going on right now. And there's no one out there taking these young guys and putting them under their wing and teaching them, hey, go to school, go get a job, go join a union, because this life is over. And that's what it is.
Yeah. And, over the years, I've interviewed some of the biggest drug dealers in America, from the Freeway Rickies to the Lil D's, out of Oakland to, Convertible Burt out in Miami. And the story is essentially the same every time. No one ever rides off into the sunset.
No, it ends in prison or dead.
Everyone gets caught. Yeah, they do 20, 30 plus years in prison.
Come home not even to an envelope.
Yeah. They come home to nothing. Whatever money they put aside and put in other people's names, the people spend. Whatever property was put in other people's names. Got it. Yeah. That property is now in their name and they're not going to give it back. And they essentially come out as old men or middle-aged men having to start over in a world that they're not even familiar with. They don't know about, iPhones. They don't know about the internet or social media.
My cousin Donnie came home. He went to prison before the World Trade Center was finished. He came home, the World Trade Center was gone. He went there for 33 years. And I'll tell you something else. I love the man, and he's a stand-up guy. I'm sure he hates me for what I did. But the year that I did this, he was crippled. He had his whole spine fused together. He just came home from doing 33 years. He sent a message to Matt, the boss of the Lucchese's. They were very dear friends. They were on that Pizza Connection case together. They sold a ton of drugs together. He reached out to Matt. Matt was home. Matt's a millionaire. He said, hey, Matt, I'm crippled. I can't get out of my house. Do you think you could come visit me at my house? I need to talk to you about something. And on the wire, I caught the guy talking about this, said, Matt told him, I'll come there if I could find the time. My cousin Donnie found the 33 years to do for you with his mouth shut, right? He found that 33 years and he gave it to you. He didn't make the case easy on you, right? He took his time. He found that 33 years. You can't find 33 minutes to come visit him because he's in a wheelchair. So you didn't go see my cousin. And you know what? He told the kid, Chris, why should I go see him? He's just going to ask me for money. Money that you have, and he doesn't. And he wanted to try to buy a garbage truck so his son could start a route. So he was going to ask a friend for a favor, a friend who they made money together. I'm not saying that he went to jail just for Matt, but he did the right thing by Matt, did the right thing by everybody. And my cousin got told if I could find the time. What do you think how do you think he felt when he went to sleep that night? Wow, if he could find the time. When he found the 33 years to do for you scumbags, right? I got no respect for any of them.
Well, Frankie Pasqua, I appreciate you coming in and sharing your story. a life of ups and downs, but I think this really sends a very serious message to people who are watching.
It's on its way up now.
Just because it looks great in Goodfellas or Casino or The Godfather.
Again, Lufthansa heist, the 60s. It doesn't exist anymore. Go get a job, go to school.
Exist. Yeah. It doesn't exist. Be a square guy, man. Earn legal money.
Go to work, take care of your family.
Go to work, take care of your family.
I hope that for my brothers.
This fast money thing doesn't work.
Never go through what I went through. They're good kids, my brothers, and I wish them the best in life. Any one of my family, you can hate me all you want. All the hate you give me, I'll give you back love. That's that.
There you have it. Well, Frankie, I appreciate you coming in.
Take care, Vlad. It was good meeting you.
Peace.